Hey you guys, so it's Keoshia. I'm back for another budgeting video. If you like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on your notification button so you don't miss any more videos from me. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Okay you guys, as you can see from the title of this video, I am here to tell you how I cut my cell phone bill in half, and you can do it too. It's really simple. A lot of people are doing it nowadays, and it's really no pros or cons. Really, it just depends on the plan you get and what you're looking for. So, as you guys know, I have a prepaid plan. I no longer have a contract with AT&T, which I used to have in the past. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the new plans that AT&T, Sprint, Verizon have do not require contracts. They're not even doing contracts anymore. So it's really something of the past. And now the only thing you have to do is switch over to prepaid to get the best deal. A lot of people like to go the postpaid kind where it automatically is faux contract, as I like to call it, is because they get to do the installment plan to buy their new cell phones. Like what if they want the new Samsung, or they want the new Apple phone. As you guys know, Apple just launched a new iPhone X, XR, all this other stuff costing $1,400 and $1,500. So you want to be in an installment plan for a very long time. So I'm going to show you guys how to still get the new latest phones and also cut your cell phone bill in half. So let's get into the first step. Okay, so just to recap, I used to have 2 lines with AT&T, me and my son, and it cost me $180 a month. I did not have unlimited data, but I did have unlimited talk and text, which most plans offer nowadays, but a lot of plans do not offer unlimited data anymore unless you was grandfathered in. And if you did pay for unlimited data, it was like a business plan, or it was a ridiculous amount of money, and most people couldn't afford it unless you owned the business. So with the new technology that's going on and Wi-Fi being almost everywhere that you are, you really don't need an unlimited data plan any longer. And so like I said, we was paying, I got my little notes over here, we was paying $180 for 2 lines. Now for 3 lines for my children, I pay $130. For 3 lines, I was paying $180 for 2 lines. And now for 3 lines, I'm paying $130 a month. So that is a significant reduction in my bill, and I've added a line. So as you see, it just depends on what you're looking for and what you need, and also how the carrier that you go with bundles and do things like that. And I'll go into that explanation a little bit later. So let's get into step 1. So step 1 is to ditch the contracts, which I just said they really don't have contracts, but if there are still contracts out there, you need to ditch your contract. And the only way you can do that is, number 1, is you have to pay off any installment loans you have. You have an installment loan for a tablet, an Apple Watch, a cell phone. What else they give you? What else do they have? I think they do laptops, tablets, and Apple Watches and things like that. You have to pay your installment loan before you can get out of the contract or whatever it is that they have you in at the moment. So that will be something you will need to look into. You will need to find out what your balance is on that installment plan. You have to pay that off in order to cancel whatever plan it is that you have and move to prepaid. The next thing you need to look into is, once you pay off that phone, if you're not going to stay with the carrier that you currently have, you will have to get that phone unlocked. So for example, if you have an AT&T phone, I don't know, I'm not sure. I know some of them, you know, Sprint works with AT&T, I think, but I'm not sure. So you'll need to call and say, okay, I need you to unlock my phone, because you don't want to buy a plan with Sprint and then find out your phone is not compatible or it needs to be unlocked. Because at most times, what the carriers do is, when you cancel a plan with them, but then you call back to unlock your phone, they will give you the runaround. They will tell you, no, Sprint needs to unlock it because now you're with them. Or Sprint will tell you, no, you had AT&T and that was the original phone, so you need to unlock it with them. So before you cancel your plan, have them unlock your phone. So if that means you need to take an extra month after you paid that phone off to pay another bill, then that's what you need to do, because you want to be able to unlock your phone and not have to go through the hassle of waiting weeks at a time to get your phone unlocked. Okay, you guys, so the next step in step 1 is that you need to determine what service works in your area. For instance, I live in the country. If you've been watching me for a while, y'all know I live way out in the sticks, and cell phone service out here is just horrible. But as I've found over the years, AT&T is the best service that I can get like out here. Sprint doesn't work, Verizon doesn't work, Boost Mobile doesn't work, all of them other little lines, they do not work. AT&T is what I need to stick with in order to have cell phone service. So before you switch over to a different carrier, you need to find out if that carrier works in your area, especially if you're not in a big metropolitan city and you're in a rural area, outlying area, then you will need to make sure that service will work with that provider out in your area, because they have towers. Some have towers over here, some have towers over there, and I'm not sure if they share it or anything like that. I'm not the technical person. So you will need to find out, maybe get a friend who has Sprint to come to your house, or a friend who has Verizon to come to your house, and see how their cell service works in your home. Go from room to room, outside, the backyard, down the street, whatever the case may be. You need to find out where the service works in your home, because as of right now with my home, if I come all the way to the end of my house where I am now, sometimes I get less bars, but if I'm at the front of the house near my room, I get more bars. So it just depends, like I said, on your carrier, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll work all over your house, but if it works in the majority of your house, then you should be okay. Okay, you guys, so step 2 is to find the right plan for you. So after you paid off your phones, you got it unlocked, you choose out who your character is, you make sure your carrier is, you make sure that signal works in your home, in all areas, wherever it's going to be, then you need to find the best plan for you. And now the first step I take in this is to find out how much data you use. Now, talk and text is usually unlimited no matter what plan you go with, so that is not something you would have to consider. Most people have to consider the amount of data they use. If you're somebody who's on the go and you're always on your phone and you always got to check in and do this and that and the other, then you need to find the highest data plan on prepaid that you can find. Now at this point, I have the AT&T $65 plan, which is so-called unlimited, but it's really capped. And that's not nothing new, because if you're on a postpaid plan, they cap your data. If you redefine lines, if you get to a certain data stint, they will cap your data and it will slow down. So that is just across the board. It's not nothing that is new to prepaid or anything like that. So you need to find the plan that works best for you with the data caps. So what I find is that if I go over my data, it will send me a message, which I haven't gone over my data, I think, but twice since I've had the prepaid line, which has been about almost 2 years. And most of the time I'm on Wi-Fi, so if you can get anywhere where you can use Wi-Fi or anything like that, that will significantly reduce the amount of data that you use. Okay, so if you haven't decided who your carrier is and several carriers work in your home and you don't have any issues with signal, then you need to shop around data plans. You need to find out what all of those carriers' prepaid plans are. Compare the pros and cons of each of those plans, the different levels, how much they cost, do they allow bundling? And what I mean by bundling is if I have one line with AT&T, it'll cost me $65 plus tax to have my line. But if I have 2 lines with AT&T, it'll be $65, which is my line, $45, which is the kid's line, and I'll get a $5 credit because I bundle, and then I'll get another $5 credit because I allowed them to auto draft from my line. So now I've added my daughter's line, so now I get $10 credit and I get a $20 discount on my line every single month for having bundled everything in and allowing them to auto draft it out of my account. So those are the things that you need to look into. You need to look into the different data plans. Do they give discounts for bundling more than one line and things like that? So that is something that you need to look into. Okay, you guys, so the third step is phone selection. Okay, so if you like to have the latest and greatest, then I will show you how you can get the latest and greatest every year or every other year, just depending on your preference. And if you do not like to get the latest and greatest, then I will tell you how you can get the good phone brand new for a great price. So I currently have the iPhone 6, the original iPhone 6. I know we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 versions past that. It's about 7 versions past that. But my iPhone 6 works great for me as long as I can FaceTime my kids, talk on the phone, text, do Instagram, check my email. I am good. I do not have to have the latest and greatest. It is really not a big deal for me. But some people it is a big deal. Now for my daughter, she also has an iPhone 6 and my son has an iPhone 6. But he just got the iPhone 6. I originally gave him my iPhone 5 when I upgraded to the iPhone 6, which was several years ago. And he called me a couple of weeks ago and told me that his phone just died. It died. It was an iPhone 5, the original, not even a 5S, so I wasn't surprised it was died. We had already made plans to get him a new phone for Christmas, and it just didn't make it to Christmas. So I politely went and searched around. I found him a new iPhone 6, brand new in the packaging, from Walmart.com, picked it up in the store. It cost me $244. I bought him a case, so eventually the price came to average out to like $350. So a brand new phone and a case for $350, and I got a $45 credit on my phone bill because I bought the AT&T iPhone 6 prepaid, and it comes with $45 credit to start that line. Now, when you go through prepaid, if you buy a new prepaid phone and it comes with minutes, they will credit that money to your plan that you already have. So think about it. If I paid $350 for everything, subtract that $45, I paid $305 for him a new phone and a new out-of-box case. So there are ways to save money. You do not have to have the latest and greatest. That could be a temporary phone. Just say you haven't saved up for that new iPhone that you want yet. Get the temporary phone, start a fund where you can pay for a new phone every year or every 2 years, just depending on what you want to do. So I got some numbers here for you guys. Sorry, I have to look down at my paper because I can't remember numbers. So saving for a new phone is step 4. I most likely will get a phone every 2 years if I like to get phones every 2 years. So on average, a new phone was $1,000. So if every 2 years you wanted to pay $1,000 for a new phone, you will have to save $41 a month for that new phone. But as we see with the new iPhone X and all this other stuff coming out, phones are going up. So the average cost of a phone, I would say now, is about $1,500 plus tax. So on average, for a $1,500 phone, you would have to save $62.50 for 2 years in order to get the new phone. Now, I don't have to have the latest and greatest, as I said, but I do like to have the latest version. So what I mean by the latest version is iPhone 7. We're just going to use iPhone 7 because I don't know what the X's numbers are and how they work it, because they got R's and all kind of stuff in there. So iPhone 7 is the original. iPhone 7S is the upgrade that comes out the next year. So you know how Apple do, they do original and then they do an upgraded version and then they come out with a whole different number. But I like to have the S's, and the reason why is because the 7, you know, it's new, it got kinks, it got problems, they ain't really worked it out yet, and by the time the S comes, they most likely worked it out and upgraded and tweaked a couple of things. So I would do the off-year brand. So for instance, this year is the second version of the iPhone X, so I would get this version, not get the next version, which could be iPhone 11, 12, 50, who knows, but the next year after that, if I start saving now, in 2 years, I can have the brand newest, latest, greatest, whatever version of the phone it is. So that is how you can get a new phone on a cycle, and you can save for it and not spend money or unnecessarily, or figure out where you're going to get this money from. Because I know a lot of people like to have the new and latest, greatest iPhones or Samsung, whatever you prefer, then that is how you would do that. Okay, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks on how to cut your cell phone bill in half, and how to always get a new iPhone or a new Android or whatever your preference is. If you like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Okay, you guys, so to go ahead and schedule your 15-minute consultation, go ahead and click the link in the description box, and it will bring you to this financial coaching page where you'll be able to read why you should work with me and things that I do. Go ahead and click on the 15-minute intro schedule, and it will give you a bunch of dates. It's 2 weeks in advance, so I hope to be talking to you guys really soon. Thank you.